Well, hey, Pete, thank you so much for joining me again for another Learn It Live.
No problem, Molly. What's up? How you guys doing?
Doing really good, having a great day so far, and we are ready to learn some more from you. So, today I wanted to talk about Facebook Marketplace. We know that there's some changes going on with the platform and the way that dealers can post their inventory. So, let's get into it. Tell me about what's going on and what is changing.
Yeah, so previous to September 13th, which is going to be a big date out there, September 13th, 2021. Previous to that, there was partners called Facebook Marketing or Facebook Marketplace Inventory Partners, FMIPs. Very long, but at the end of the day, we had the ability, select vendors like ourselves had the ability to grab inventory, do a bunch of stuff to get it in a format for Facebook, and then automatically post that for each page out to Facebook Marketplace, which would automate the entire process, making it very easy for you to, as a dealer, to take your inventory in stock and put it onto Facebook Marketplace. And that was just used cars. They didn't really have new cars. There was some tests along the way. But what's happening is Facebook is putting some effort into some other areas inside of Facebook, and they've decided to kind of kill this product for the automotive vertical, the real estate vertical, and a few others. So on September 13th, they're going to remove the ability for us as well as the other 50 to 100 Facebook marketplace inventory partners to post automatically. So we're going to be left with this void, but the good news is we'll talk about solutions that we have in place and ways that dealers can make sure that their inventory, their used cars inventory, is still on Facebook Marketplace so they can maximize those opportunities.
Okay, so it's not like they can't post inventory on Facebook anymore. Just the way that we're posting it is just changing.
Yeah, so right now you're probably getting it from like an endemic partner or a website partner or an agency partner that you're using, where that is just kind of happening right behind the scenes and you're not having to do anything. But what will happen going forward is that you're going to have to manually list each vehicle through a user interface on Marketplace. So you're going to have to go to Facebook, then go to Marketplace, then say add new listing, and then attach it to your dealership, and then fill out this long form, right? And then hit post and upload all those images, as well as then try to determine what vehicles to update as you change pricing, remove them as they sell, right? So it's going to create a little bit of an issue. Good news is we've got solutions coming, hint, hint to the future part of the show here, most likely. But at the end of the day, yes, it's going to be a pretty big disruption because many people are getting lots of messenger inquiries and lots of leads today from Facebook Marketplace because they're part of the marketplace, right? What will happen is on September 13th, all of your inventory will disappear off of Marketplace unless you manually post it back in there. And so if you're not aware of that, that's going to happen. Now we got to talk about how, what are the options that we have going forward so that you can make sure that your used car inventory, if you feel it's valuable on Facebook Marketplace, to still continue to be there.
Sure. Well, let's talk about the value of marketplace. Why do you think that we should look into these alternative strategies that we'll get into? Is it worth being on marketplace?
I think every dealer needs to evaluate that for themselves. But for me, it's free. It's I know vendors have charged in the past, and many people will charge for being able to pull your inventory and get it ready and post and all the management that goes in, because it does cost money to manage that from people and everything else. But it's not like Craigslist where you have to pay $5 per car posted. It's free on the back end. We don't pay any gateway fees with Facebook. We have to maintain certain level of accreditation with them and security clearance and all of that stuff. But at the end of the day, we don't, as a provider, incur a cost from Facebook to post that there. Neither would you if you manually post it. So the good news is it's free from that standpoint. You're not paying $5 a car, and you're not having to go in and pay maybe an endemic, however they charge, whatever their way is, maybe $20 a car net average of everything, right? So the other side is it gives you access to every single person that's within your geographic area that's shopping marketplace to have your inventory in front of them, right? So again, it's kind of a needle in a haystack game, no different than an endemic, no different than any other marketplace. But if you're there, you have an opportunity to get an inquiry, right? And they do provide that ability to directly connect from Facebook to you through Messenger, right? And so the good part for dealers is it creates a direct to consumer connection with Messenger. And so, at the end of the day, we've heard mixed reviews from dealers. I think it's all in the operational process. What we do know is through the stats we collect is that Marketplace gets in front of a lot of local shoppers, a lot of in-market shoppers, and some tire kickers, definitely. But it's creating discovery for those folks about your vehicles you have on the ground today, and it's creating inquiries around those on the ground today. And so it's proven in the stats that it does get inquiries, it does sell cars. We've tested it all the way through. It may not be as effective as Google search and high based intent going in and buying, but it's no worse than what we see on any other type of marketplace provider that's out there.
Got it. Now, are any other types of ads or techniques or tactics on Facebook's going to be affected by this? Like, are AIA ads going to be affected?
Yeah, so you're referring to automotive inventory ads. It used to be called product catalog ads back in the day. All of that stuff is where Facebook recommends you move, right? And like, of course, just the dirty secret is Facebook makes money on ads, right? So it's in their best interest for you to either use a free product or pay for something, right? So they're going to move to the paid. And it's true. At the end of the day, you can put the right vehicle in front of the right shopper at the right time and get very low cost per action, right? Cost per lead, cost per click, cost per VDP view. It's amazing on what it's able to do. Their algorithm is probably one of the best I've seen on that. But you'll still have the ability to do marketplace, right? So the ecosystem is still going to be, these Facebook pages where you can just kind of post your, any content you want. You're going to have the paid strategy. You've got the marketplace strategy, and then you've got this new kind of like content system as well that's under the page called the vehicles tab. And that's the other thing that we'll kind of say could change. Now, as a Facebook marketplace inventory partner, we can still syndicate that inventory tab on your marketplace, on your Facebook page. It just will not post in the marketplace. So you may think you're like, well, I go to my page, I click on vehicles, I'm in marketplace right now, I see it here. The fact is, most likely you're not going to be if it's still just showing up automatically and you're not paying a service for it, because the marketplace provider will still have access to post to there. So they're not going to lose that ability. What you want to do, though, is make sure that if it goes into marketplace, it will also tie to your page as well, so you can get that to happen through that manual marketplace upload. We'll talk about how you can kind of put that together, and that will put you in more control, making sure your inventory is accurately updated and that someone doesn't have rogue access to your inventory too that they shouldn't have access to.
Sure. Okay. Well, I'm a little bit more reassured. But let's talk about the future. You've teased it up a little bit. What kind of solutions or strategies are you cooking up that are going to be able to help with this manual
Yeah.
process?
Yeah, so we've been working with the head of automotive, Bob Lanham, and the automotive team at Facebook for months now. Ever since the initial announcement, I probably was one of their first phone calls in. Just not even worried about what just happened, but more worried about how do we bring a solution to the automotive community in general. Right? It's like we have to give the community something, because this manual thing is going to be a nightmare. I mean, how do you determine what vehicles are brand new in stock, which ones have just been updated from price and images? How are you going to sync all that data back and forth between that? And it just started causing all these like anxiety things in my mind, right? And I'm sitting in it as a dealer's point of view going, well, I have one option, just not do Facebook marketplace. And I'm like, no, don't do that, because if you do that, your competition is going to figure out how to post it in there. Then they're going to get all the shoppers when you could be in there with them, right? And so what we're working on right now, and it'll be set to release in two forms. The first part is a manual workflow automation tool that will take your inventory and it will break it up into what needs to be added, what needs to be updated, and what needs to be marked as sold. And inside of there, it'll make it very simple. The form that's on the left of it for Facebook will have the same data that you literally just have to click a button, click over, click a button, click over, right? The images, instead of having to go and right click and save to your desktop and upload it to Facebook and do that, are just going to be a simple download one file, upload it back to Facebook. You'll have all 32 photos on there, right? So we're making it very simple for someone, maybe a receptionist or an in-house marketer or any type of person that can just go follow instructions, can go through this workflow engine and make sure your cars are posted. You may not have to do it every day. You may have to do it every 3 days or once a week even, but it'll give you the ability to have a tool that says, hey, these cars need to be posted because they're new. These cars have recently updated, their price changed, their description changed, you got new photos, whatever the case is. It'll tell you exactly what fields changed, and you only have to go in. You'll be able to click and go to the original post and make those quick updates. And then lastly, when a car stocks out, you don't want it sitting up there and having a bad customer experience. So we're going to give you a report too that shows you which ones you just have to click on and mark sold, right? Mark sold, so that they come off the marketplace and keep things very fresh. So that's phase one of what we're doing. That's I think going to be a very exciting play, manual play, but at least it'll streamline what do I do, and then it'll allow your team to go and update the workflow engine, so we know you posted it, we know you updated it, we know you did those tasks, and we'll log all of that so that we can see that those cars are being done. And that will either give your agency, if they want to use this tool, we are a platform company. You could use that from an agency perspective. You could use this at a tier 2 level. You could use this as a inside dealership, or you can outsource someone else to maybe do this for you and use this tool to go manually do it. So it's going to give you a lot of options, but at least it's going to answer the questions: what should I post? What should I update? What should I remove?
I like that, like task checklist system. We are working smarter, not harder here, pivoting in a new direction. Okay,
That's
cool.
it.
What's phase two?
So phase two, we were trying to have done before September 13th. It was this is where we kind of beat our head against the wall. We work with Facebook engineering team. We've had multiple internal heavy technical discussion conversations with the Facebook engineering team and the autos team. And we finally cracked the code to do something that we thought was impossible based on all the conversations we had. And we're working right now on an automator script to automate that entire process. So it will actually work on your behalf and press all those buttons for you and put all that stuff in there and run in the background so you don't have to worry about it. So that when you come in eventually, the system will just say, hey, I updated all these vehicles. It'll be a very simple process. And if there's any exceptions that happen because the automator couldn't do its job, it'll tell you what those are so you can go manually update those if you choose to do so. But the goal is to get to automation, right? There's no reason that we should be wasting our valuable human brains on posting this type of stuff and following a checklist system. We can train our systems to do it. We just didn't know if we were going to be able to integrate with Facebook in a way that was going to be compliant and not get things shut down. So we've talked a lot with their compliance teams and their internal teams and how we were approaching it. We've done some prototypes and betas with them, and we're now at the point where we're in almost like an alpha test and very close to having this release. So expect some time in quarter 4 here. We will release a full automated system that will allow you to make Marketplace a lot simpler. We're super excited about
Well,
that.
that sounds like a dream come true.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for all that information. I'm excited to see all this roll out. I think that you are, like I said, you are definitely working smarter, not harder, and you are helping solve some challenge in the industry right now. So thank you for that. If anybody has any questions, please go ahead and put them in the chat. We will absolutely get to them. Any final thoughts on Marketplace, Pete, and what's coming up?
I would just talk to your partners, talk to your internal team about what's your plan, what's your strategy, and starting September 1st around, you'll be able to start that manual process with us and start posting and seeing how things work and see if that's a good fit for you. Make sure you have a plan. Even if it's, hey, we don't want to do Marketplace going forward, but just take a look at it. Is it performing? Again, we've in our dashboards have always supported all the stats on there. So if you're wondering, is it working or not, we can give you the inquiries and the stats around that. Unfortunately, we probably won't be able to have that going forward because they're going to remove that from the system. But right now, that's available if you're a partner of ours. But have a plan. Just understand what you need to do next, and if this is going to be part of your overall marketing mix and marketing strategy. And if it is, we have some tools that I think are greatly going to help you out on there. And at the end of the day, we'll always be providing stuff on our blog and informational points so you can go get information on this type of stuff. So even if you choose to do this in an alternative direction, we just want to try to help the industry move forward. But thanks so much for having us on this topic.
Absolutely. Okay, well, I will see you next Learn It Live.
All right. See you guys soon. Thanks so much for having me. Thanks. Bye.
Thanks.